Magic 8 Ball. Will there be another Jurassic movie in the next 10 years? My reply is no. That might be a good thing. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today I'm giving you my ranking of all 6 Jurassic movies. 3 Jurassic Park movies, 3 Jurassic World movies. Make sure to hit the like button, comment down below your ranking of these movies. I want to know your thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. I have a review I will link up above. And make sure to subscribe to that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future rankings like this one. So without further ado, I'm going to get into my ranking. Coming in at number 6 for me is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The movie came out in 2018. It grossed $1 billion somehow, and it's by far the worst movie in this franchise. Admittedly, I do enjoy the first act that takes place on Isla Nublar, seeing the original Site A from Jurassic Park and all the dinos having to get off this island while a volcanic eruption goes down makes for some pretty tense scenes. I mean, I dug what they were doing, and then there's a drastic switch about halfway through the movie where it legitimately feels like the credits should have rolled and we started up another movie that takes place in this mansion with these stupid rich people who are auctioning off dinosaurs. No, I'll pay you $20 million for this dinosaur, even though I'm scared shitless by it and want nothing to do with it. What this movie does is it introduces more generic, idiotic characters that are essentially just dinosaur meals. They're going to get eaten by these dinos at some point, it's just a matter of time, and I'm not really a fan of the way they introduce this whole girl and this clone plotline. There's way too much going on, it's very messy, and unfortunately, because of all the antics going on in this movie, I'm never really able to emotionally connect with the characters the way I wanted to. Yes, it has some really intense action scenes in the first half with dinos, but after that, it just gets very run-of-the-mill and frankly kind of boring. Now, it makes a bold choice in the end where dinos are free to roam the world with humans, but the consequences of that aren't explored as much as they should have been in my number 5, which is Jurassic World Dominion, the quote-unquote epic conclusion to the franchise, which unfortunately was a massive letdown for me. The movie clocks in at 2 hours and 26 minutes, and there's way too damn much going on in this movie. Within like the first 30 minutes, there's 10 different location changes where they pop up a different location text on screen. You're getting introduced to tons of different groups of characters, and it's all going to have to converge at some point, but the way they do it was a little bit messy in my opinion. Now, at a certain point in this movie, I kind of said to hell with it. They have to get the original characters and the new characters on screen together somehow. I'm just going to try and have as much fun as I can. If I'm looking at the first 30 minutes, we've got a plotline going with Chris Pratt's character and Bryce Dallas Howard and the clone girl. People are trying to snatch her. People want to snatch Blue the raptor. We've got this whole plotline with certain creatures that aren't even dinosaurs going on. I won't get into spoilers if you guys haven't seen it, but there's way too much going on in this movie, and it ended up feeling convoluted, especially when you bring in Biosyn, a new scientific organization that's basically just another InGen from the other films. Now, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't magical to see our trio back on screen together, and I think Jeff Goldblum carries this movie. He's got the charisma and the really like scene-stealing moments for sure, but the movie is sorely lacking in dinosaurs. I mean, it's a Jurassic movie. You would think dinosaurs would be at the forefront, especially, you know, dinosaurs and humans having to coexist in the world now, and the consequences of that aren't explored as much as I would have liked in this movie. I really kind of am let down by this, and it's unfortunate. I wanted to love this movie, but it just left me feeling a little empty after. I think this movie was a miss. Now, next on my list is actually going to be The Lost World, aka Jurassic Park II. This is probably higher for a lot of you guys, but for me, the movie just doesn't work. It's missing 2/3 of our original trio that make that first movie so special, and it leaves Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm having to carry the movie. Now, I like this character, but it's almost the Jack Sparrow effect, where Captain Jack Sparrow is never really the main character of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's more about Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann, so putting Jack Sparrow in that lead role feels off. It just doesn't feel right having Ian Malcolm being our main character in the movie. Also, it feels a little bit of a rehash from some of the, tension-filled scenes from the first Jurassic Park. Now, the best scene in this movie by far is the scene on, like, the bus where the 2 T-Rexes are coming after, and the tension there is just through the roof. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes for sure. But the plot kind of feels watered down and repetitive in a way where, we're going to send the scientific group in to try and get the dinos, and we're not going to listen to you guys because we're smarter than you. That's just the beat we get with a lot of the stupid human characters in this franchise, and it gets a little irritating, but again, it still has a solid score. This is like the first time dinos come to the United States in this movie, so that's pretty wild. Yeah, I love the supporting cast. You got Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn in supporting roles, so the characters in this movie are a lot better than some of the other characters in the other Jurassic sequels, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original, unfortunately. Now, next on my list is actually going to be Jurassic Park III. I think this is the most overhated Jurassic movie, but by no means is it great. It's actually an okay to bad movie just because there's such irritating characters in this movie. The plot is essentially this boy gets lost on Isla Sorna, the second site or Site B, and his family kind of cons Alan Grant into getting them to go out there as if, oh, we're going to go on this dinosaur tour for our anniversary, but in reality, they just want to go rescue their son, and it's the Kirby family, and my gosh, is the wife from the Kirby family one of the most annoying movie characters of all time. In fact, I found myself rooting for the dinosaurs in certain scenes where I was like, yeah, what? Get her! Like, that's not what you want in a movie where, you know, she's trying to rescue her son and you want the mother to die. That's not the best thing. But the standout in this movie by far is the fact that Alan Grant is back in the picture. I mean, he is the GOAT of the franchise, in my opinion. And it's just awesome to see Sam Neill back in the role. He has the charisma. He reminds me of Indiana Jones in some ways, and I've always felt that way. Maybe it's the hat. We also get some really cool pterodactyl action in the third act with this foggy scene. I like the way that is shot. And the movie's only an hour and a half long, so it's easier to sit through than some of these other Jurassic sequels. It's not great, it's very irritating characters, and the stupidity of humans it's laughable, honestly, because yes, Dr. Alan Grant is our hero, but he should have done a little bit of a background check on these people before just hopping on a plane with them and like, oh, yeah, we have government permission to go fly as low as we want over this island that's got dinosaurs on it. We got permission for sure. Like, maybe do a little bit of a background check before you just accept the money. It's a very kind of predictable movie with who's going to get killed and how it could go down. But it's still fun, and it gives us like dino action and better characters than a lot of the other sequels, mainly because, again, we've got Sam Neill, and the main kid, the Kirby kid, he's an alright character as well. It's a shorter runtime, it's dino fun, and it's more watchable than the ones below it. My number 2 is going to be Jurassic World, the sort of soft reboot to the Jurassic franchise that came out in 2015. This movie reminds me the most of that original Jurassic Park. It's nowhere near the quality of it, but it's still probably the most fun of all the Jurassic sequels. You've got Chris Pratt playing Owen Grady in the lead role, and in the third act, he's literally riding motorcycles through the forest or woods alongside velociraptors, and he's like controlling them. That is just such a cool concept, and I think there really is riveting action in this movie, especially in the third act when you get some dino showdowns. But the main issue I take with the Jurassic World franchise is that I still don't love the characters as much as I want to. Bryce Dallas Howard's character, it takes a while to kind of warm up to her, especially the way that she treats her actual family, and it seems like she doesn't give a damn that they're out there visiting her. The greed and stupidity of humans is always at the forefront of this franchise, and it just gets a little annoying at times. Like, how stupid do you have to be? How many years do you have to see dinosaur accidents occur and hear about them in the news to just be like, oh, you know what? We're gonna get it right this time. That's kind of just a major fault of the franchise, and it's like understandable so that we can have dinosaur kills in the movie, but it just gets a little too annoying at times. I think the movie looks great. Obviously, I'm more a fan of the practical dinos, but I think the CGI looks nice for the dinos here, and it's by far the best of the 3 Jurassic World movies, and I actually take it over Jurassic Park 2 and 3 just because I think there's enough charisma from Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard to make it a fun time to watch. Even though the plot can be, you know, a little run-of-the-mill and generic, which is a word I've used a lot in this franchise because that's just how it feels after that first one, it's still a fun enough time to rewatch this movie every now and then. But far and away, the best movie in the Jurassic franchise is the one that started it all, Jurassic Park, the 1993 Steven Spielberg classic. This movie's special. It's a 5 out of 5 in my book, and what makes it so great is the fact that dinosaurs are in the movie, but it's much more about the human characters, and we spend so much time with them and learn to appreciate them and see the inner workings of their relationships before we even go out to Isla Nublar and see the dinosaurs for the first time. Much like the human characters, we are excited to see dinosaurs on the big screen, and I can only imagine seeing this movie in 1993 because it's literally the first time that dinosaurs were like realistically portrayed on the big screen, and it's an achievement in cinema, so hats off to Steven Spielberg, he's a legend. But the arc for Alan Grant in this movie is spectacular. He's set up at the very beginning as someone who doesn't want kids, and that's the one kind of bump in the road with his relationship with Ellie, is she wants kids and he kind of hates them. You've got the scene where he explains velociraptors to the kid and freaks him out, but also that's kind of setting up velociraptors for later on, so it's brilliant writing. And then when they get to Jurassic Park and see the dinosaurs, it's this mind-blowing scene. The score is absolutely wonderful. Welcome to Jurassic Park. It sends chills down your spine. And then as the tension kind of builds and builds, you can see the park might not be running as smooth as you think. The dinosaurs are kind of hiding. And then when the park sort of shuts down and everything goes to hell, Alan Grant gets stuck with 2 kids and grows a bond with them over the course of the film, so that by the end of the movie, he has an appreciation for kids and is willing to get his own. So it's all about him, his relationship with kids essentially, and that's what makes the movie spectacular. Is dinosaurs are like a side character here that just are adding to that tension. But you also have the character of Ian Malcolm, who is the best he ever is in the franchise in this first movie. He's kind of a comedic relief character, but he's also really smart, kind of questioning the logic of this park. You've got damn great looking dinosaurs. The T-Rex is fear-inducing as hell. It reminds me of the ride Jurassic Park River Adventure at Universal when you've got that big-ass animatronic dino head at the end. It spooks me, honestly, and this movie spooks you. It makes you feel like you were in the park running for your lives from dinosaurs. It's frightful, emotional, it's got great writing across the board, one of the most iconic scores of all times from John Williams, and it's one of the definitive, like, iconic movies of all time, Jurassic Park. I'm repping the shirt right now, and it's far and away the king of this franchise. But that's my ranking of all the Jurassic movies. What is yours? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of Jurassic World Dominion? Check out my review. I will link it up above. I have some thoughts, to say the least. If you want to hear me elaborate on that, definitely go check out my review. But thank you guys so much for the support lately. It has meant the world. I finally hit 10K subscribers, a goal I've had for quite some time. I can't wait to keep cranking out videos and growing this community more and more. I should have one more Jurassic video out this weekend, tier ranking the characters. I think that would be a very fun one to do. Also, you can follow me on all my social medias, which are linked down below. I'm posting a lot of content on TikTok right now. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.